Down. Another woman bites the dust, and on this occasion it is Dakota Kai who is injured. Welcome back, guys, to Fog Wrestling. Probably the last thing this terrible, depleted women's roster needed. This women's roster already sucks, and now they have lost another one. It's Dakota Kai who's going to be out now for a prolonged period of time, after she suffered an injury in the exact same match, believe it or not, as Liv Morgan. So we know Liv Morgan is out. A couple weeks ago, in a tag team title match, Liv Morgan picked up an injury while defending the belts against Damage Control. Well, it turns out Dakota Kai also got injured in that match, and now she is going to have to get surgery to recover from an ACL tear, and that will see her out for a long period of time. So the injury took place, like I said, on the 12th of May in that match, and when the tag titles were on the line. Now, Morgan did injure her shoulder. She suffered a shoulder injury. I believe she also had a knee injury. That is why she is out. And it turns out, apparently, that injury to Morgan is what caused Dakota Kai to get injured, because Dakota Kai knew that Morgan was hurting. She knew that Morgan did have an injury in that match, and she attempted to do a spot to protect her, and in the process she ended up tearing her ACL. So just a complete disaster here for the women's division on Monday Night Raw. We've just had the brand split, and already now 2 teams are gone. 2 teams are done and dusted. What is the point of having these tag team championships when there is no teams to begin with? And now they're just going to have to throw a bunch of random women together to try and make up for the 2 teams that they now do not have. So yeah, who knows who we'll get. I mean, Candice LeRae probably and fucking Tegan Nox will team up or something like that. Or you'll get, I don't know, Emma and Shia Lee or Natalia and some bum. Maybe they'll bring Tamina from the free agency. Maybe they'll team up. Who knows what they'll do. But either way, that is Damage Control out then, and also Liv Morgan and Raquel Rodriguez. And you'd have to assume that Dakota Kai will be gone for a long time. Normally when people get ACL injuries and they have to get surgery on it, they're normally out for at least 6 months. So I don't see why Dakota Kai will be any different. I think it's fair to assume that she will be out for the next half a year at least, probably closer to the year, to be honest, because we're already into May. So it's very possible that we will not see Dakota Kai back into 2024. But we do need to crown new champions, and I guess we'll find out that's going to be the Raw After Night of Champions. I believe you've got Shayna Baszler and Ronda Rousey in that match, and the rest of the teams are literally just people that have been thrown together into the match. So, I mean, that is what WWE is going to do now. There is no real tag teams these days. They literally just throw people together and hope for the best, and as soon as their time is run, as soon as their course is run, you know, they just split them up. And I mean, gone are the days when we had great tag teams and you had like the Dudleys, the Hardys, Edge and Christian, New Age Outlaws, the APA. That just doesn't happen. I mean, back then in wrestling, I know some of those guys did get thrown together, but when you look at like the Hardy Boys, the Dudleys, Edge and Christian, I mean, for as long as we can remember, they actually were coming through. They were actually coming into wrestling as tag teams, and I get it. If you're brothers, then yeah, you're more likely to be tag teams. But I felt like back then, people actually wanted to be tag team wrestlers. People cared about being a tag team. Nowadays, no one really gets into wrestling wanting to be a tag team wrestler unless they're like related. Like the Usos, yeah, because they're related. But other than that, most times you just get thrown in a tag team because they have nothing for you. So yeah, tag team wrestling is pretty much dead at this rate. So yeah, and speaking of dead, Damage Control, it's interesting to see what they do with this now, because it looks like they were imploding. Bayley and Io Sky just could not get along. Dakota Kai was kind of like the one in the middle. I guess she could have attempted to play Peacemaker. Would she side with Bayley? Would she side with Io Sky? Well, it looks like that decision has been taken away from her now, because Dakota Kai's out, and I guess we'll just see what happens with Bayley and Io Sky. But look, no one's going to miss Damage Control. They were fucking terrible. And it's nothing against Dakota Kai, nothing against Io Sky. Who knows? Maybe if they get solo runs, they might do a bit better, but Damage Control as a faction with Bailey leading it absolutely sucks. So I won't miss Damage Control. Hopefully Dakota Kai gets better soon, but yeah, I don't think this is any real miss to the wrestling business. Dakota Kai, 35 years old, like, and she hasn't achieved anything in wrestling. You've got to wonder, like, what is the point? I mean, surely you'd be better off pushing someone younger. Just call someone up from NXT to replace Dakota Kai. I mean, at 35, if you haven't already made it in wrestling, then I just don't see what's the point of keeping you around. I really don't. At 35 for a female, again, Trish and Lita, I say it every video, but they retired at 31. They had their careers. They'd accomplished everything by the time they were 31. And Dakota Kai, what she accomplished? She's accomplished boring us to shit as part of Damage Control. So yeah, it's not a great accomplishment, is it, guys? I'll catch you in the next one, though. Dakota Kai out for at least 6 months. Sucks for her, but here, it's not too bad for us, guys. At least we don't need to see her anymore. Till next time, peace.